important day, and it's important to your students, it's important to us as educators here to know how we can best serve you. So, before I introduce Mr. Romero, you know this year I've been trying to do something different at every meeting, and that is to show you one of our school initiative of how do we build community. So as parents, you know, sometimes we're isolated, right? And we don't see each other except at these meetings, and we have to start believing that we are a community outside of our family. We are part of the Southwest Side community. So we're going to do something fun today as the last parent meeting of the year. So I want everyone to stand up, and I want you to put your foot down because this is a physical activity. Okay? So if you have a translator device, tuck it somewhere in your pocket because you're going to need your hands. I need to see everyone participate. I know I'm short without my heels. Typically I'm on a 4-inch heel. So here we go. How many of you remember this game? Rock, paper, scissors. Come on, everybody must have played rock, paper, scissors, okay? So here's the instruction. So we're going to have fun, and I want you to really put your heart and soul into this. Step 1, you're going to find a partner closest to you, and you will play rock, paper, scissors 3 times. The winner, don't move yet, the winner, 2 out of 3 is the winner, okay? Got it? Now, if there happens to be an odd number, in other words, we don't have even number here, then form a group of 3, okay? Once you've done that, you're going to find another group of pair. And the winner of each pair is going to play each other. The losing partner must cheer the winner of their pair on, okay? Does that make sense? And you have to cheer, not like, oh, good job. No, you need to say, come on, come on, come on, you can do it, you can do it. I want everyone to do that, okay? If I don't see you getting excited for your partner, I'm going to call you out. I'm going to say, parent over there, I'm going to call you, okay? Now, again, 2 out of 3 wins. Then the quad. Go find another quad, and the winner of each quad plays each other. So then what do the others do? Cheer their quad, okay? Until we get one big group in the end. Okay, so I'm going to direct you as we're going through this, all right? So, everyone ready? Find a partner. You have 15 seconds to find a partner. Find a partner. If there you go. Don't go yet. Wait for my instruction. Wait for my instruction. On the count of 3, start your game. Start your game. Start your game. Maybe I was a bad teacher.
She won.
We have another winner over there. Thank you. Okay. Doesn't it feel good to just smile and laugh? It might not have worked out the way it should have, which is always a risk that you take in a big group. However, I saw a lot of happy faces. I saw a lot of cheering on. I saw all of you just uniting together. And as we go into the summer, think of your community. Think of your community as continuing over the summer. Remember these moments that we spent together, so that when we come back in the fall, in July, know that you're not starting over again, that you have built community. Your goal today, before we leave, is to meet someone new, connect with them, exchange phone numbers, so that you have somebody from this school that you can confide in and talk about the school. Okay? That's your goal today. I'm going to remind you again. So at this time, I want to introduce to you our fantastic and fabulous principal, Mr. Romero. Please welcome him.
Thank you. Thank you. How many parents here have a senior that's going to be graduating in a month? Okay, wow. Okay, that's wonderful. You know, as a parent, I bet you're very scared, you're very nervous, because this next step is an important step. I want to tell you that in about 30 minutes I'm going to be meeting with all the seniors. And in my senior, I'm going to be talking to them about doing the right thing. We have so many weeks left before the end of the school year, and I'm going to tell them how important it is to come to school every day, not to do anything inappropriate, all those kinds of things, because as seniors oftentimes, the kids want to do senior ditch day, do a prank or something like that. Every one of those events could take them away from participating in graduation. And I'm going to tell you, some of the hardest conversations I've had with seniors that did something wrong at the end of the school year was to tell them and their parents that they're not going to graduate and not participate in graduation. It's a horrible thing that I have to go through, and I'm going to talk to the seniors about making sure they do the right choice, make the right choices. The second thing I'm going to tell them is that I'm going to tell them a story about me when I was their age at this time of their life, when I was a senior. All my friends were applying for colleges, they did well in school and so forth. I didn't do that well in high school. My grades were not good at all. And so when I applied to San Diego State back in the day, I got, this time of the year, I got a letter back that said, Lee Romero, you do not meet minimum qualifications to get to San Diego State. And it devastated me. A lot of our seniors right now are devastated because colleges that they were hoping to go to, they're getting denied. Some of them, all the colleges that they applied to, they're getting denied, and it's a very scary thing. And I'm going to tell them how I had to deal with that, but I decided to go, because my parents said, you're going to go to college, you're going to go to college. I decided that my only option was to go to Southwestern College. And that was not a bad thing for me, because I went to Southwestern College, and then I transferred to San Diego State. And on my diploma that I have, when I became a teacher, my diploma says San Diego State on it. It doesn't say Southwestern College, then San Diego State. It doesn't say that. And also, Southwestern College has some wonderful programs. I'm going to talk to them about it. But I'm going to tell them that college doesn't end, that their plans just begin in June. It doesn't end where they're at right now. Because I tell you, a lot of our seniors right now are thinking, what am I going to do? What are my next steps? It's a very scary time. And it's a very confusing time for them. So I'm going to be talking to them about that. I'm going to be applauding them because what they've done this far, they're going to make it through graduation. And it's going to be a wonderful thing. But parents, if I could impart one thing on you, is to encourage your kid. If they don't have a plan out of high school, go to Southwestern College. It's a great school, lots of programs, gives them a lot of opportunities for them to go on to the next step of their life. Community college, either Southwestern, City College. We have a lot of community colleges in the district that are in the area of San Diego that don't cost that much. They cost a little bit. But also,
they'll take any student that wants to go to that school. I'm going to tell you another story. I look tired right now. And you know, a lot of you know that I've been around this business for many years. It's my 30th year, and I'm tired. I'm going to be 54 years old, and getting up in the morning is not as simple as it used to be when I was a younger guy. But I tell you why I'm tired. It's not so much me being a principal. I'm tired because I have 3 boys. And even as a parent who's a principal in education, my son, who goes to this school, is driving me crazy. And so when I look at you and I see you here and I see some of you parents that sometimes are just fed up, don't know what to do to help their kid, I'm in the same boat because sometimes we clash. Sometimes my kid thinks he knows more than I do. And sometimes my kid thinks that this girlfriend is more important than our relationship. And that when I tell him he better do something, he's going to think that's an option. And I have to let him learn that when I tell him something, it's not an option. I'm your parent. That phone that you have is my phone. It's not yours. So I'm telling you as parents, I'm glad you're here. I'm in the same boat. It's very challenging being a parent. Kids don't know what we go through, the hardships we go through, the headaches we go through, how scary it is when you don't know what your kid's going to do in 2 months from now. It frightens us. I know that there's 6 weeks left in school, and if he's not focused, because he's a junior, that his grades that are going to be on this report card in a month are going to be the most important grades that going to determine what college he's going to go to. It's all these scary, fearful things. So when I look at you, and sometimes some of you guys have this look like, my kids are driving me crazy. I've got the same problem as you do. It's challenging every single day. I'm with you, but you know what? Bottom line is, we love our kids. I'm going to tell my boy that I love him. I just challenge some of the decisions that he makes every single day, and we just have to support them and hope that they make the right decisions as they go. One other thing, my oldest son, as I've been talking to you about him, he decided not to go on to a 4-year college, but he went to Southwestern College. This year is finishing his 2nd year at Southwestern College, and he's transferring to San Jose State next year, which is fantastic. I'm so proud that he's going to do that. But I'm going to tell you as a parent, those of you, even if you're a parent of not a senior, but I'm going to tell you, even if your kid is a 9th, 10th, or 11th grader, I am so sad that he's going to be leaving the house. Even as a principal, I am so sad that he's going to be leaving my house and walking out of my life. Because I remember when I left for college, I never moved back home. And from there, I moved to an apartment, I had a job and everything. So I know that it won't be the same, the family dynamic. And it makes me very, very sad. But that's something as a parent I'm going to share with you. It's a scary thing, it's a sad thing, but I know it's going to be a good thing for him. And I'm also telling you, my 2 younger sons, are excited because they want to make his room into a game room. You go figure. So, as parents, I feel for you. I'm glad you're here. You're doing the right thing by being here. As parents, it's very confusing. It's very frustrating having kids. Geez, if we knew this many years ago, maybe I would only have 1 instead of 3, right? No, I love them all. But you're in good hands. My son, like I said, goes to this school. This is a wonderful school. I'm honored that he goes to this school with the teachers that he has. How many of you saw the news, Channel 10 News broadcast on Fernandez, Miss Karen Fernandez? How many of you guys saw that? It's coming up. So, our Karen Fernandez, one of our kids, was in the news a few days ago, and if you'll notice that a lot of news press that we get at this school are very positive. They're very wonderful, heartwarming stories about kids that have been doing wonderful things here. The last news article was your child. You know, that was wonderful, who got a perfect exam on an AP Spanish test. But the newest one that we have is one of our girls who got accepted to Harvard, Yale, Princeton, and Stanford. Berkeley, UCLA, UCSD, all these schools. And she was only the salutatorian, which means she's the number 2. So we have amazing kids at this school that are doing wonderful things, but this is the interview that happened a few days ago, and we're very proud of her. I got to introduce and just to check them out. Miss Marcaroni, raise your hand. Miss Marcaroni is our Teacher of the Year this year. Someone give her a round. You got to know about this lady. I worked with her back in 2000, 16 years ago, and she's such a fantastic teacher. Every single school that I've been a principal at, I've been trying to recruit her to come to the school and work with me. Finally, at Southwest High School, she agreed to come to the school 2 years ago, and she's now Teacher of the Year. Not only our school, but the district Teacher of the Year. She's made it to that level. Her next one is going to be County Teacher of the Year, which I know she's going to win, and then she'll be California Teacher of the Year. She is one of my son's favorite teachers, and I got to say this because if Mr. Rodriguez is here, he'll cry. He loves her more than Mr. Rodriguez even. Yeah, she's a fantastic teacher, and she's really tough on my kid, and she does wonders with them. But those are the kinds of teachers that we have at this school. So thank you for being here. We suffer, we challenge each other, and we cry, and we are happy we can do all that together, because the struggles that you have are the exact same struggles that I have with my kid. My kid's not perfect, you know, but that's why we're here. We work together, we're communities. Thank you for being here. Parents of seniors, I wish you luck. Thank you for your trust in allowing us to educate your kids. It's truly an honor. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Mr. Romero, for your kind words and your welcoming to the parents. At this time, I want to introduce Dr. Arias, who is the lead teacher in our engineering program. So at this time, I want him to come and talk. You're going to have to speak a little bit louder because we're having sound issues. So I apologize for that. Dr. Arias, if you could please come.
Pero voy a salir en la cámara.
Okay, buenos días, good morning. The reason I'm here, first thing, I want to share with you the good news for the engineering program. We competed in the San Diego Regional for FIRST Robotics. That's a very important robotics event in STEM education. STEM is science, technology, engineering, and math. We competed with all the schools in the county, okay? And we were invited, okay? We passed to the World Championship. We had a very important award, Xavier Valladares. He's one of the lead students in the robotics team, and he got the Dean's List Award. Okay? And so he went to the World Championship, and he's competing at the world level. Okay, and so we are going to Houston next week. On Tuesday, we're leaving, and we're going to compete in Houston. We're taking our team, and well, those were the news, the good news for us. Okay, and so what we have to do now, okay, and what we have been doing, the district is supporting us, but also something that we found is that the district cannot pay for traveling expenses for the students going out of the state of California. Okay, so the students are doing some fundraising activities.
Tonight.
Okay. Tonight we are going to have an event in the gym. Okay, and there will be some groups performing. It's open to the community. Parents are welcome to be there, and we encourage you to be there. Okay, with your kids. Bring your kids, bring your family, other relatives, and it will be about 2 or 3 hours of music. The performance. All of them are graduated from here. We have a professional group that is playing here in San Diego and Tijuana. They will be here. He's one of our graduates. He's going to donate his time, and so you can enjoy that. And we have other performance from the school, and so that will be I think was a very good social event and for you to relax and visit. Alright, so it's $5, you can pay the entrance to the gym. So that's one. The other thing is, probably you have heard about the farm that we have here. If you haven't heard or you haven't seen it, it's at the end of the parking after the meeting. You are welcome to go and see our farm. We have about 200 chickens and we are producing about 12 dozens of eggs a day. Okay, so we started with this project some 4 years ago in a rescue center, but now it's here and it's part of a zero waste program. The zero waste program, what we're doing, and that's kind of explaining it here a little bit. We've got the flyer. Okay, we're working with the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, and there is a food recovery program. So there is a lot of food wasted from the cafeteria nationwide. Okay, so what they were trying to do is, what they try to do is give them food to food banks for people, but it doesn't work because they have to transport, they have to refrigerate, people can sue if they get sick. So they say, okay, no to people, so what they are doing in many places is they just trash the food from the cafeteria. I'm talking about the food that sometimes they buy, or if they prepare, let's say, 100 hamburgers and only 75 kids eat, so the other 25, what are you going to do with them? So they trash them. I'm talking about salads, everything that they prepare, okay? So the EPA, with this program, what they say, we want to recover that food, and they have this pyramid here, this hierarchy, okay, criteria. So the second step is feed animals. Okay, if you're not using it for people, then feed animals. The other level is use it for composting, and the other level is you trash it. So what we say, okay, we can feed animals. We already had some chickens in the rescue center, so we bought the other 200 chickens, so we're feeding the chickens. And also we have a composting center. You are very welcome to go to the back of the school and see our composting center and our gardens. So we have garden boxes, okay, and we'll be some growing. She's helping with the growing the vegetables and things. Okay, so we have that. I didn't talk to you about this before because we were not ready. We had only 100 chickens there, but now we have 200, so we have enough production so we can offer it to you. But this edition, just for today, okay, we say, okay, let's give it to the parents, and this is a donate. Whatever you want to donate, like whatever you pay in the market for the eggs, you can donate that, or if you want to donate more, the money will go for the robotics for the kids going to Houston. Okay, so so that's regarding the eggs, and I think that's it.
These eggs were just harvested this week, right?
Yeah, the last 2 weeks.
The last 2 weeks, so fresh eggs right here. And they're really good, I've had them.
Something else. We just got, that's something, because the district, the nutrition services department, they want to buy the eggs so we can close the loop. And we're getting the food from the cafeteria, and also we're buying all the vitamins back. Okay, the eggs, we are feeding them with this all natural vegetarian diet. Okay, and whatever is left from the cafeteria. So those do not have hormones, antibiotics, and so when you go to Bonds and those, you have all natural free range. So that's what it is. If you go to Bonds, okay, it will be $5.99 at the check. Okay, $5.99 plus taxes. Okay, so here the teachers have been buying the eggs for $6. They pay for the semester, and we just deliver on Friday. If you want to do something like that, that's something we can do. We are going to have eggs in the ASB as well, and you can pay directly in the ASB. Okay? Thank you. So that's about the eggs. And also, we just got last week, I sent the application to the California Department of Agriculture, Food and Agriculture, and we got the permit. So we are officially registered in the California Department of Agriculture. And so we have our, it's called handler permit, egg handler permit, so we have our registration. What it means that I can go to a store and say, okay, we have these eggs, and then they can sell it to other people. If you don't have that, it's okay to sell it directly to the people who is consuming the eggs, which is basically what we're doing. But it's good that we got that permit, so we're registered already. Okay, so Thank you. Okay, el evento de hoy, the event tonight is at 5 in the gym. From 5 to 8:30. So, okay.
You will be helping our team, Xavier Valladares, who is also on the Board of Trustees for Sweetwater School District. Xavier, wave your hand, who just helped us get our mic back. Thank you, guys. And your handy support, Mr. Magnin, thank you for making sure that we had a mic. It's really important. Our engineering program is our most established career pathway here. One of the goals when I came here 6 years ago with Mr. Romero, one of the things we said, we need to make this school career wall-to-wall. What does that mean? It means that every student is in a career pathway. So we have the engineering program, we have the biomed pathway, if your kids want to go into the medical sciences, it's becoming very strong. We have this great teacher who is a nurse in the field and is bringing experts. So kids have been learning how to suture. Kids have been learning, they're going to get a CPR certificate when they complete the pathway. We also have a digital media pathway. We are also trying to do a fine arts pathway. We are trying to increase our computer technology pathway so that if you have other kids that are coming up, maybe 2-3 years from now, we will have every single student in a pathway so that they are truly career ready when they leave high school. Not just college, but college and career. So support our eco-engineering pathway tonight. If you can, tell your friends about it so that we'll be able to send them to the international competition. So those of you who know me, you know, I always want to help parents. I'm a parent here too. I have a 10th grader. Last year I sent one of my kids away to college. She's in Seattle. And it's a hard thing to do, but it's part of the whole process. So I always, when I lead these parent meetings, I always think about through your lens. What are you going through? And so what's up and coming is summer, right? So we're kind of like, what are we going to do with our kids, right? Hopefully they don't have to go to summer school, but if they do, you need to push them in to summer school, okay? Because if they have not done credit recovery during the school year, then they have to make up those credits. Even though we have a 7th period right now where kids can repeat a class, not a lot, it doesn't help them if they don't come to summer school. And summer school is strict. It's not like regular school where if you are absent, you have somebody calling you, hey, Erin, why weren't you at school, right? And, you know, there's none of that in summer school. In summer school, you're allowed to miss one, and on the second absence, you get dropped, okay? So we'll have a lot of kids, so that's one of your summer options. We'll have a kid will say, oh, but I attended. Okay, so the first thing that comes to my mind, I'm always saying, did you come day 1? Oh no, they had to call me and I came the second day. Did you go the last day? Oh no, I decided I didn't need to go. Or they will say, they will blame you, by the way. They will say, oh, my parents had to take me to LA, had to go to TJ, right? And so I said, well, unfortunately, I can't help you with that because you've missed 2 days, okay? So that's one thing, that's one option. The other, so what about if your kids are not in summer school? So we worry as parents, what do they get on? So in my heart, as I have a son here who loves the internet and is banned from it most of the time because he can't control himself, I wanted to share with you the importance of digital safety. So I want to share a couple of things with you because many of you have given your students a phone or a laptop or an iPad. And so that's okay. I have one for my son. I just give it to him. Here, you need it for this day, and then I take it back, right? But we are in a day and age where we can't live without technology. So it's not feasible to say, you can't have technology. That's not feasible. That's not reality, okay? So what I want to arm you with today is how do we go about having the conversation with our students about their use of technology, okay? So you saw me up here tweeting because Dr. Janney, our superintendent, loves it when there's an event going on and she wants us to post it on Twitter and then she's able to retweet it, on her own account. So those are some of the fun parts of social media and the use of technology. But I want to educate you what happens when that goes on. So I've titled this presentation, Digital Footprints, or is it a digital tattoo? How many of you know of somebody who has a tattoo? Okay. He won't mind this. Mr. Magnet has some tattoos, right? How many of you know that when people have tattoos, it's for a certain reason, right? There's a story behind it. Now and again, many times, especially in the military, I'm a military wife, they go in there and it's a rites of passage to get, a tattoo, right? But most of the times, when I've talked to people who've gotten tattoos, there's a story behind it, right? So it's really interesting that now these terms, digital footprints, digital tattoos, virtual shadows come up. So I'm going to give you some definition. The first one is digital footprints. Basically, these are bits of information, whether intentional or unintentional, about you, your students, that is permanently stored based on your online activity. Okay? How many of you have Gmail? How many of you go on Google regularly? Okay? Can you be Googled? If I were to Google, if you were to tell me your name, can I Google you? Every time you log in onto the internet, bits of your information is stored. Now here's the fallacy that kids believe. They think because they go and delete history, they think because they delete this and that, right, that it's gone. It's not. I happen to have a brother who's in the digital storage business, right? So what does that mean? He's a computer scientist who's in charge of these big storage systems that companies buy, like Verizon, AT&T, Chase, that store all the information every time you check into an ATM, every time you go to a store and there's a camera and it captures your face, right? So these things exist, right? So those storage systems contain your digital footprints. Now, digital tattoos is online information that shout out about you. Okay, so ATM is kind of quiet, you do that privately. What I'm talking about, what do you think? Just yell it out. What do you think is a digital tattoo that shout out about you?
A photo. Website.
I'm sorry, what?
A photo.
A photo of you. What else? A video? Yes? Okay. Your social media probably could be considered a digital tattoo. If you do Snapchat, it's probably considered a digital tattoo. It shouts out about you. And as administrators, our job has been made very difficult, actually, with social media. Because sometimes we get information that kids started outside of the school. And then in order for us to investigate it, we have to show a connection to the school. We can't just go and investigate if we see an event, a parent comes to me and says, Miss Finley, my child is being cyberbullied. The first thing in my mind, and parents are shocked about this, when did it start to happen and where did it start to happen? And most of the time, it starts outside of school. So then I, as administrator, have to see what is the connection to the school before I can use resources in school. Is it affecting learning in school? Did it result in a fight in school? Did it result in an incident in the classroom? Do you see what I'm saying? Okay, let me give you an example. Months ago, I get a call from our Vista Academy, right? and say, Ms. Finley, we need your help. There's an incident here that's going on regarding an online game on Facebook, but it involves a 10th grader in your school, right? So right away, I have to go, I said, give me the name, so now there's a connection. It didn't start here. It started at Mar Vista Academy, right? So as you go throughout your summer months, understand the activities that your kids take on that will shout out about you and your family. The other term that's out there right now is what is called virtual shadows. In other words, they're online realistic shadows of you and your life. So the most popular place that you can find these is in YouTube, right? Or on Snapchat, where kids are literally capturing their moment as is and posting it right away. Okay? Those are what you call virtual shadows. So between all of this, it puts you and your family possibly at risk. And you as a parent always need to keep in mind, can my family and I be Googled? And if you were to be Googled, what will be the first thing that pops up? So how many of you know how Google or any search engine works? Yes?
You just put in a name or whatever you're looking for, and it populates a whole list of items in there. And you just...
That's right. But how does the first one get to the very top? Have you thought about that?
Most commonly used.
Most commonly used. What's most common out there? Some companies actually pay Google or any web browser to be the top. Okay? So if you were to type me, Easter Finley, okay, you will see what's most common about me, what I've posted online. And it's typically about my professional work, right? Because I want to project a positive image out there. Sometimes, and I tell kids this all the time, before you apply to college, clean up your profile as much as possible. Okay? Because if you don't, colleges Google you. Employers Google you. So here are the 10 things you need to know. Okay? So I don't have this for you as a handout, so I would suggest you write them down if you can. Number 1, college admissions and employers do read your profiles. Okay? Number 2, educators do read your profile. In other words, we will go on there. I remember 3 years ago, it was after school, and a teacher brought a piece of paper that had Instagram posts on it, right? And it could have put the school in danger, and right away I had to drop everything, and I had to go in there and see whether or not what's going on, how far did this go. So we do go in there on a regular basis, especially as it relates to the school. Educate yourself on digital citizenship. So for example, my son is not allowed to have his phone or any technology when he goes to bed. So we collect it all. His laptop from the school is hooked up in our bedroom. Okay? We don't let him go to bed without us collecting it first. That's just part of our responsibility to make sure that your kids are not going on when you're asleep. Okay? Because one of the privileges of being on technology and the World Wide Web, or the interweb as they call it, is that you can connect with people around the world. The downside of that is sometimes you don't know who you're connecting with. So the good of the technology is also its bad. So we just make it a basic rule. Okay? When you go to bed, collect it. Okay? Educate. Create a profile that is simple and non-specific. You are responsible ultimately for your digital reputation. Okay? You, your kids, let them know. It's not, Tia's fault. It's not Theo's fault. It's not my cousin's fault. It's our responsibility. What we post up there, always ask yourself, am I willing for that to be there forever? That's always the question. Create separate accounts. When we started in the late 1990s, right? We had one account. Now, for everything, right? So now I have a personal Gmail, I have a professional Gmail, I have a professional Twitter, so that there's no mixing or very little mixing of things. It's a hassle, but guess what? It will help you in the long run. Learn from others, proper use or mistakes, okay? Learn from others. Keep your information private. Internet is forever. Follow the golden rule. In other words, be kind on the net. If you're going to post something, do unto others as you would want them to do to you. Okay? It was very hard in the political season, right? In November, to not participate in the political rhetoric, right? As an educator, I have some very strong beliefs about personally, right? And so I always have to think, do I want to participate in the political rhetoric that's going on or not? Okay? Don't be afraid to make mistakes. I have, my husband is not as technology savvy as me. He's got his stuff. But every time, I tell him a situation, and he goes, he smugly says to me, that's why I don't post anything, because blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, that's not reality. That's just not reality. If you have, he's got a very small circle of friends. I grew up in Africa. I have family in the Philippines. So for me, I've used Facebook to reconnect with my family easy. I've planned reunions, funerals, weddings on Facebook, right? So don't be afraid of it. The way that you embrace this is how you talk to your family about it, right? And give them break time. Tell them it's time to unhook. It's okay. It's okay. And last, build your own positive image. Make sure that what's out there, if you're going to be consistent, I am a social media freak, but I am very careful about what I put in there. It's always positive. It's about my family. It's about my profession. It's about my faith. So you want to make sure that you can create your positive. So she's not here, but I remember there was a teacher here, and I tell her all the time, she'll post something, and I'll text her and go, you need to remove that, okay? I said, not because I'm your supervisor, but because as a friend, I don't want that for somebody to look at if you're trying to become an administrator. So build your own positive image. That's what's in your control. No one else is in control of that except you, okay? Tips for parents. Talk to your kids about the risk, protect them from the dangers. Boy, people are savvy. When people want to do bad, they will find a way to do bad things. So, I tell my children all the time, and by the way, my daughter just fell into one in college. So you can imagine, my scare. I tell people all the time, on my cell phone, and by the way, they're going 2 cell phones now, like texting you things, right? I tell people all the time, if you're not in my contact list, I don't answer you. Because I don't know what that number will lead to. And people get frustrated with me, and I said, no. I said, if you want me to answer, your name must appear. And every phone now that I get that I don't recognize, I block. Okay? So it's really important. It's really important that you do that. Teach your kids internet safety. Thank you. We're switching now. Teach your kids internet safety. My son at a young age learned, they know how to do this, right? And all it takes is one click here, and it takes them to a different site. So you have to go in where you think you don't want to go, but you have to show them how to do that, right? And then you yourself must learn technology. Don't get into the habit of giving your phone to your kids and say, okay, fix it for me. Learn it yourself. We can help you with that here. One of the things that we're working on for next year is really having a technology parent component that you guys can come on a regular basis. We have a wonderful blended learning specialist, and one of the things that I'm talking to her about all the time is what can I provide for my parents so that they know how to navigate the technology. So that's in the works for you guys next year. Learn the technology. And a lot of the times I'm on social media, not because for my personal use, but I want to know what my kids are doing, right? So my daughter finally took me off of Instagram. I said, okay, you've earned it, you're 18 years old, you can be off of social media, you're not be connected to me. I trust her that she's going to do the right thing. My son, I tell him, you can't be on Facebook or Instagram unless I have it on here. So my phone has my son's accounts, right? And so then my phone gives me updates every time he goes into his Gmail, every time he goes into Facebook, everything, it's on here. And because you want to be that active, it's tiring. It's more tiring than when you and I grew up, where we never had to worry about this, right? So, yes, that's how it's revolved. But I want you to have a safe summer. I really do. I want you and your family to have a safe summer. And the biggest part of that role for you is monitoring safety on technology. The other thing that I encourage you to do this summer is get your kids to read. I can't emphasize that enough. A friend of mine texted me on Facebook, because she knows I work a lot with College Access. And she texted me on Facebook and she says, Easter, what does my son need to do? He's in 8th grade, he's just finishing 8th grade regarding SAT prep, right? So here's a mother thinking of SAT prep, the son's already in 8th grade. And the one thing I suggested to her, for English, they must read a lot, voraciously. They must read voraciously. I don't care whether it's a comic book, or whether it's a thin book, or whether it's a thick book, or it's a magazine. Have the kids read. Have them read, talk to them about what they've read. That is probably the biggest help that you can have for your kids. Any questions about how to help your kids be successful in summer? Mr. Magna, do you have anything to add to that?
I have things to add to the meeting.
Oh, okay. Okay, so we're going to talk about the progress report. Again, remember we're in a new system, okay? So thank you very much for being patient as the district has rolled out and improved. As the district has rolled out and improved the new system, it's getting better and we're getting more savvy at using it. And so the progress report is starting to take shape. And we went over this the last time, but really what you need to be concerned about is the absences, the tardies, the scholarship, and the citizenship rate. So the last four columns. Testing. The last four columns up here are really important. Towards the end of the semester, a lot of kids will want to ditch because they're tired, right? So you need to look at that today to see if your kids are showing new signs of not being in class. And the scholarship, this is the last 6 weeks before school. We will have kids coming up to us the week before finals. It's too late. So if you have F's in your progress report today when you pick it up, please make sure that you get a hold of the teachers. Make sure that, and if you can't get a hold of the teachers, email me directly, all right? Email Ms. Singh directly so that we can get your children help. They need to come to Saturday school to do their work. They need to stay after school. And so we want to make sure that your kids succeed, all right? This is why it's important. We're going to have summer school June 12th to July 7th. If there's an F that your child is going to get, we're going to automatically enroll them in summer school here. Mr. Magna and I are going to be co-principals of summer school, and it will be here. If they don't show up to summer school, we're going to have to remove one of their electives and put them in the class to repeat. That's the bottom line, because especially for 9th grade parents, right? This is really important for you. There is so much research out there that if they receive Fs in their freshman year, that trend is going to continue. So what we're trying to do right now is to make that correction for these students. 9th grade parents, I cannot emphasize. We have kids that will not graduate because they got an F freshman year and they never bothered to correct it. So talk to your kids. And if they say that, no, you can't make me, yes, you can. Okay? So talk to them about their grades. Mr. Magnet, it's yours now.
Thank you, Ms. Finley. I really appreciate you guys being here. When I say appreciate, I mean I really appreciate it. Not like you did something for me, but I appreciate what it takes to come here. I was sitting in a meeting at 7 o'clock at a different office in Chula Vista this morning. And at the meeting I was sitting there going, oh man, I don't know if I should be here. I have to bring grades over to the school for the parent meeting. I have to present. When am I going to get out of here? And then I started thinking, there are about 300 or 400 parents sitting in this cafeteria who have canceled so many things and sacrificed so many things just to come to this meeting. And here I am complaining that I'm at a meeting at work that is very simple and part of my work day. So I do applaud you guys being here. I'm impressed with it and I'm humbled by it too. So I'm here though to talk about something really fun, online registration for 2017-2018. Last year, registration was very difficult. I'm just going to admit that and call it what it is. It was very difficult because we had a new system called Infinite Campus. We still have Infinite Campus. They have redone the online system to supposedly make it easier. So I haven't seen it yet. It just got opened today, like an hour ago. So I haven't been able to look at it yet. I'll be looking at it next week. And I'll tell you next week whether it's easier or not. But we do have dates for registration now because now we have the system. And the dates are listed in a page in your folder. And we've organized them by grade. This year we combined 12th and 11th grade registrations into those first 2 days. And that's because the amount of parents coming for 11th and 12th graders is less than those coming for 9th graders. Typically. So if you look on this paper, April 25th and 26th, registration for 12th and 11th graders. Now, we will have computer labs here for you to register, and we will have assistants to help you. However, when 200 parents show up and they all need help, we love to help. We also encourage you, if you have a hard time with the computer, bring one of your children to help you with the computer side of it. It's no big deal. We have seats for them, and they can help you alongside you so that you can input if you have trouble with the computer. I also encourage, once you get the letter sent from the district about registration, I encourage you to attempt to register at home. I mean, it's online, so you can do it on your phone, you can do it at home, and the good thing about that is all you have to bring to us is the printed document. And if there are any problems because you have trouble registering at home, we'll still be here with our computer labs open for you. So I would suggest you attempt to register online, at home, at the library, wherever you have to do it, on your phone, on your child's phone. That would be the easiest way to prepare coming in here. If you still have trouble, I would recommend you bring your child with you to help you with the computer system. And we'll have a bunch of experts here to help you as well.
Mr. Magnet, how many of you have the campus portal on your phone?
She's asking about Infinite Campus portal on your phone, if you have it on your phone.
Okay, yes you do. Okay, it's very easy to use, right? Yes, so...
You can download it from the App Store or from the Google Store.
So if you want to have it on your phone today, because that's a system where you can do it on your phone, okay? You can also check your grades on here. So the fact that I have it on here, I will get a little notice that says, oh, your son has an F, right? So it's all on here on the palm of my hand. So if you want to set that up today, I want you to see Samantha, where she's on the other side, my assistant, our assistant. Anyways, talk to Samantha and we'll get you set up to do the campus portal, okay? So that you have that ready.
So yes, we do encourage you to try to register beforehand. Again, I can't emphasize that enough. It'll make your wait here very short if you can register beforehand. If you don't have a printer, you can register at home and then come here and print it here so we can have the documents. It'll be a lot easier for you that way. But again, we love helping, and if you do need the help and you want to do it all here, we'll be here for that. So again, April 25th and 26th is for 11th and 12th graders. Then we have April 27th and May 2nd for 10th grade registration, and then May 3rd and May 4th for incoming 9th graders. As it says at the bottom, you will receive instructions in the mail through the address that's listed on your student's registration. I know sometimes we have a couple families living in one household, so you may want to communicate with the person who grabs the mail and see if the registration information came in. That's our online registration information. We'll all be here after the meeting too if you have questions about registration. We also have, I think in your packet, we put residency verifications. Ms. Temple, did we put residency verifications in there? So, yeah, okay. So those are really important too. Everybody every year must prove residency. That's not our requirement. That's a requirement of the state of California. And it's a district policy that we do this every year. So those documents that are listed are required to register. The only exceptions that we've made, the people have always still been required to provide the documents. It's never been, sorry, you don't need to provide them. So you must provide those documents to us, and I'm sure you know that already, and I probably don't have to tell you 20 times. So again, I'll be here afterward to talk about any other questions on registration. Ms. Finley, should I add anything right now, or can I move to my next slide? I wanted to talk about summer school, briefly. So another flyer in here is the summer school flyer. The dates are on there. It's not the first week of summer, it starts the second week of summer, so your children will get 1 week to torture you. But we will be having during that week, that first week though, a incoming 9th grader math bridge, correct? So if you have incoming 9th graders, they can attend, they won't be torturing you because they can come to our math courses that first week of summer. And then summer school starts. The most important thing you need to know about summer school, it's at the bottom here. Your children are already being registered for summer school if they need it by our counselors. So if they failed a class, we run this big list and they start putting those students into summer school. If you still, and then you'll get something sent home saying they've been enrolled in summer school, please have them show up. And then, if you're still nervous about it, you can come the first day of summer school and tell us, you know, I don't know my kids in summer school, and we'll put them in there. We're going to be offering all of the summer school offerings. Yes?
So what if my son flunked a previous class? So they told them to actually graduate, he's in 10th grade. He needs to pass during summer school. But he's been kind of lagging on it. What if I just want to register?
We've already registered it. Our counselors are going through these students who have failed and they're registering for 2 classes. We can fit 2 classes. So if they failed more than 2 classes, they're going to choose the priority classes, but they'll be automatically registered in there.
But if you want to make sure, then Raquel, raise your hand. We can probably check to see whether or not they've been registered. Okay?
Okay. So that's summer school for you. It's 4 weeks long. And again, if they're absent more than once, we automatically drop them. We won't be calling every drop in and saying, sorry, we're dropping you. So if they miss 2, they're dropped. Also, if there is one major behavior incident during summer school, we drop them automatically. So if they were chewing gum, I'm not going to drop them. But if they talk back to the teacher and throw a pencil at somebody, there's a good chance they'll be dropped. We don't have the obligation to maintain. I would like to keep everybody, but this is such a short time that's so intense for so many people that we'd like to keep it as orderly as possible. Any other questions? I am Mr. Magnan. I'm one of your assistant principals here. Make an appointment or call me or email me, and I'm happy to answer anything you need. And again, I will be here after the meeting as well. I'm going to hand it back to Ms. Finley.
Thank you, Mr. Magnan. So, it says registration is currently closed. So, but either way, we want to set you up with an account so that you are able to do that, okay? So, is Samantha here? Okay, so we will have Samantha, she's the girl with the long, long hair, okay? And we'll make sure that you are helped so that you don't have to stand in line to get into the computer lab, okay? Yes, so maybe hopefully Monday, it will be open. This is our last meeting of the year. I have so enjoyed being here with you every single year. I love this. Is one of my favorite parts of the year is spending time with you. And I just want to wish you well. Let's work together. What was your task today before you leave? Make a friend that you can exchange phone numbers with so that you have support system throughout the summer. Dr. Arya said that they're selling tickets. Who's selling tickets for tonight's, raise your hand. Selling tickets for tonight's program, and there's more eggs outside. Please eat the food. Thank you. I will be up here if you have any questions.